Disclaimer. Forgive me now if I mispronounce any words in this video. Also, there will be mentioning of death in this video. If you are weak to this subject, please change videos now. There was once an orphanage in Vermilion, Ohio during the 1800s. It was known as Gore Orphanage and had been set aflame. Many children and one African woman had perished. The ruins still stand today, beckoning the curious to walk the foundations. People experienced much activity, all creepy and leaving chills running down their spines. But is this story true? Let's dig into it. The Gore Orphanage. Many claim that the reason for the fire had to do with the owner of the orphanage, known as Old Man Swift. He had a terrible demeanor and was seen to show cruel treatment to the children, having been seen being abusive to some of them and even killing some, placing their bodies in a fireplace to dispose of. Angered or fed up with the kids, he set the orphanage on fire to get rid of his troubled situations, while others claim he did it for insurance purposes. But there are also three other reasons people assume the fire had started. One is that a child had accidentally dropped a lantern when he was going to the outhouse. Another was a disgruntled employee who wanted vengeance against his former boss who was firing him. And lastly, was a crazy neighbor who was tired of all the children's noises. Regardless, the fire ended in tragedy and the screams of children could be heard for miles. Interesting but sad, with much loss and mystery of what occurred. But this is all a made-up story. At least, part of it. Gore Orphanage was not really named Gore Orphanage. The name derives from a nearby road named Gore Road. Though the legend claims the flames destroyed the orphanage in the 1800s, the location and the building was actually built in 1840 and was known as Swift Mansion. The land and the foundation wasn't bought by an orphanage until 1903. The orphanage was named Light of Hope Orphanage and was located in a different area just 1/4 miles north of Rosedale. 4 children did die of an epidemic of black diphtheria, but they were living at a family farm in Berlin Heights, Ohio at the time. They were the grandchildren of Wilburs, who bought the house from the Swifts. Obviously upset with the loss of their grandbabies, and during the boom of spiritualism, they tried to get in contact with the children at the mansion by doing seances. Eventually, the family moved away. The actual site of the real orphanage has barely been investigated, and consisted of 4 sets of farm buildings that had as many as 120 children. Only the printing building of the orphanage burned down on November 2nd, 1910, with no human casualties. What may have stemmed the legend of the orphanage was the nearby fire of an elementary school that happened in 1908. It was in the nearby town of Collinwood, where 176 children had died from either the fire or being trampled to death. But there is still activity that comes from the location of the Swift Mansion. If you still decide to visit the Swift Mansion where the building's foundation still sits, you may experience the much activity that occurs, such as the sound of children screaming or pleading for help, the great door opening and closing, footsteps, seeing burnt children, handprints on cars, ghostly children walking around, the sound of fire crackling, the sight of mist, the smell of burning flesh, bright lights swirling, and dark shadowy figures. If you think that is weird, the reports of hauntings have started as early as 1905, or at least they say. What do you believe? If you like this video and would like to support this channel, please check out my Patreon page where you can get early access to videos on such things such as cryptids, alien abductions, serious killers, and much more. If not, you can support me here by liking, commenting, and subscribing. I hope you all have a good day.